By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use AI tools to market your business faster, smarter, and way more effectively, even if you've got zero tech skills or marketing background. Keep watching because this could seriously change how you run your business online. Now, before we get started, can I ask one small favor? If you like what I do here, can you please hit the subscribe button? That keeps me energized to bring you more content. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. Let's begin with tip number 1, which is to use AI to create scroll-stopping content in just minutes. Now, one of the best kept secrets is using tools like ChatGPT, Jasper, or Writer to get your first drafts out very quickly. I recommend you treat these tools like a creative intern and not a replacement. You'll save hours of brainstorming time, but you're still the final editor. Now, one of my students, Talia, used to overthink every Instagram caption. Now she has AI write 80% of her posts, which only takes a few minutes, and she just polishes it with her own tone and her own unique insights and story. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I see is people to ask AI to write a caption and then complain that it sounds just too robotic. Now, the real move is to feed it with some good details. So you could say something like this: write a post for busy mums who run handmade jewelry businesses and struggle with Instagram engagement. So there's a simple prompt that you could use. Now you're giving it context that actually makes sense for your target audience and your people. Now, if you've ever felt like your content doesn't really reflect who you are, I suggest using a prompt like the following: write in the voice of a 32-year-old solopreneur who's frustrated with marketing but super real and encouraging. There's another prompt you can use. That kind of tone layering makes the AI output feel you and not be generic. You still get speed, but now you have some soul. Now, one of the most transformational shifts is using AI to generate story-based posts instead of just giving tips and advice. Now, I had a client, Louis, who thought that he wasn't interesting enough to share stories, but with AI's help, he outlined his journey from burnout and turned it into a carousel that went semi-viral in a niche group, and it drove nearly 150 new followers and real conversations. Now, tools like Notion AI and Copy.ai can help you to draft content calendars, content pillars, and even CTA variations, so that you're not guessing anymore. I recommend using them at least once a month to plan your next 4 weeks in under 90 minutes. So this will only take you about 90 minutes. Now, you'll feel way less overwhelmed and your messaging will still stay very consistent. Now, if you want to create branded content that doesn't sound like everyone else, I recommend you paste one of your best performing posts into ChatGPT and then just say the following: study this tone, now write 3 new posts that sound like this. So there's another prompt you can use. So what you're doing is you're building a consistent voice that connects, which is something that 90% of marketers really don't do. Now, one of my students, Raymond, runs a small landscaping business, and he was terrified of social media until he used AI to generate before and after transformation stories. And as a result, his engagement actually doubled. And the crazy part is they weren't even complicated stories, just real life client wins turned into content with AI's help. Now, I've put together some free training resources to help you build an online income stream using AI. Go and click the link below in the description to learn more. Now, back to the video. Let's now move on to tip number 2, which is to use AI to understand what your audience actually wants. Now, if you've ever said, "I don't know what to post," it's probably because you're guessing instead of doing any research. I recommend using answerthepublic.com, also asked.com, or even Reddit to see what people are actively searching for in your niche. These tools are really useful to find search terms and questions that people are asking on Google that are related to your niche. Then you could just feed those questions and search terms into ChatGPT to brainstorm relatable content that actually solves pain points and problems in the market that you want to go into. Now, you can get better results when your content is based on empathy and not just assumptions. Now, one of my students, Mina, runs a side hustle coaching business, and she plugged her target client struggles into ChatGPT. These were things like no time, fear of failure, information overload, and things like that. Now, the AI gave her 10 killer hooks, and her posts finally got some good traction for the first time in several months. Now, you can increase your connection by letting AI help you create mirror content. These are posts that make your audience feel more seen. Now, I suggest you ask the AI something like this: Write a post that starts with "if you're tired with X" and wondering if Y is even worth it. So that's a prompt that you can use. This type of phrasing hits deep because it names the reader's exact internal struggles. Now the key thing here is the language. Most business owners use expert language, but your audience thinks like beginners. Now I recommend that you ask ChatGPT something like this, to reword this like a stressed out first time business owner who's never taken a course before. So there's another prompt you can use, and suddenly your message will start to click where it used to actually confuse people. Now let me give you some straight talk. Your audience won't tell you what they want, but they will tell Google. That's why sites like Ubersuggest and AnswerThePublic.com are really good. So you can take the most searched questions in your niche and then just use AI to build a full content funnel around it. So this can be a blog post, an email sequence, and 3 or 4 social media posts that you've now got, and you're now creating value and not noise. Now one of my favourite prompts is the following. What are 5 myths someone in, then just insert the industry, believes that are actually hurting their progress? So there's another prompt you can use. Now I had a client, Jeremy, use that to expose some fitness myths, and his comments really started taking off with people saying things like, "This is exactly what I needed to hear." AI didn't just save time, it also unlocks new connections with his audience. Now to help you build a deeper community, try this. You can paste in a DM from a customer or comment from your post, and then just ask the AI, what hidden emotion is this person expressing? So there's another question you can use, and you'll start seeing beneath the surface. And when you speak to that, your content turns passive followers into actual clients. Let's now move on to tip number 3, which is to use AI to automate your marketing without losing the human touch. Now, if your marketing feels like a second full-time job, I want you to know there's a better way. I recommend that you use tools like Zapier, Make, and ConvertKit to set up simple workflows that send out lead magnets, welcome emails, and nurture sequences automatically. Now you can write them out once with AI, and then they will work for you 24/7. Now one smart way for you to avoid burnout is to ask AI to help you map out a 7 email sequence series with a personal tone addressing pain points of burnt out freelancers. So there's a prompt you can use. Now one of my students, Lena, did exactly that. And she built her list from 120 to 1,400 subscribers in 5 months without ever feeling salesy. Now I suggest using TidyCal or Calendly to actually connect with leads and have AI automatically send reminder emails, preparation questions, and even follow-up thank you messages. Now my student Ian closed 2 high-ticket coaching clients just because he finally followed up properly and AI handled it all for him. Now the myth a lot of business owners believe is that automation is cold. That's just simply not the case. You can make automation deeply personal by including voice notes, video links, and AI generated insights from your surveys or your quizzes. Now when someone joins your email list and gets a message that feels like a DM, they're going to stick around a lot longer. Now one tip that works really well is to ask ChatGPT to rewrite this sales email like a casual conversation between 2 friends who've known each other for years. So there's another prompt you can use, and you'll see just how much more human your automation feels when it drops the corporate tone and speaks from the heart. Now to help you do this, you can also use tools like Loom to record quick personal messages that AI helps you script. Now one of my clients, Beth, used Loom videos in her onboarding sequence and saw her course refund rate drop by 28% because people felt connected right away. Now if you struggle with staying consistent, AI can literally create and schedule a full 30-day content plan for your emails, your Instagram, and even your blog. I suggest that you use Content Studio or Metricool to plug your AI drafts right into a content calendar. Now you're not just marketing, you're actually scaling. Let's now move on to tip number 4, which is to use AI to test, learn, and improve what's actually working. Now, if you want to start creating content like a science experiment that's not a guessing game, I recommend that you use tools like Google Optimize, ConvertKit, A/B testing, or even Beehive to test subject lines, email structures, and call to actions. Then ask ChatGPT to basically break it down and explain the results in plain English. Now, one of my students, Tracy, split tested 2 different lead magnet names using AI generated headlines, and the one with emotional language, which was burnout proof your business, outperformed the generic one by 3 times. That one shift led to 200 plus extra downloads in 1 month without any ad spend. So don't forget to analyze what didn't work as well. I suggest that you take your lowest performing post or email and then just ask ChatGPT the following questions. What might have gone wrong here? So there's question 1. And give me 3 stronger angles to try instead, and there's question 2. And you'll instantly feel less discouraged and much more strategic. Now, if you want more sales, start testing different offer descriptions. One of my clients, Ellie, sells digital templates. So we used AI to write 3 versions, one that emphasized speed, one that emphasized creativity, and one that emphasized ease. And the ease one converted the best. So you only learn through you can only learn that through testing. Now, I suggest using Airtable or Notion to build a simple content testing dashboard. And then you can track your posts, your open rates, your click-throughs, and then just ask ChatGPT to summarize what's working and what I should double down on. So just ask ChatGPT that following question. This gives you a bird's eye view with the next steps that you can actually take. Now, the big myth is that testing is for data people, but you don't need any spreadsheets, so that's simply not the case. You just need some curiosity. Even just asking which Instagram hook got more replies can reveal real good insights. Now, AI helps you to see the patterns that you might actually be missing. Now, you can see better results if you run small, smart experiments. So try different styles of reels, switch up your CTA language, or even just test short versus long captions. AI can help you design the tests and read the results. So you're not just busy, you're actually building some good momentum. Let me now give you tip number 5, which is to use AI to craft irresistible offers that practically sell themselves. Now, if your offer isn't converting very well, it's not always because your price is wrong. It's often because your messaging is unclear or you're solving the wrong problem. I recommend that you use tools like ChatGPT or Claude to actually workshop your offer by asking the following question. What are the top 5 emotional reasons someone would buy this? So there's the question. This will help you connect with your audience way deeper than just listing features and benefits. Now, one of the best exercises you can try is feeding AI your current offer and then prompting it with the following prompt. Rewrite this offer to sound like it solves a real painful problem for a busy single mom who runs a handmade skincare business. So there's the prompt, and you'll get some really good insights because the AI will help you shift your positioning towards outcomes and not just stuff. Now, that's exactly what Samira, one of my students, did. She swapped her custom logo design for branding that gets your product off the shelf and into people's shopping carts, and her conversions nearly doubled in just 2 weeks. Now, most business owners actually build offers they think their audience wants instead of what people are already actually searching for online. Now, I suggest using explodingtopics.com and Google Trends to discover what's hot in your niche, and then just ask the AI, based on these trends, give me 3 offer ideas that solve real-time problems. So there's the question you can ask. Now, one of my students, Devon, created a mini course around AI prompts for Etsy sellers because he noticed a sudden spike in Etsy automation searches on Google Trends, and it sold out in just 9 days. Now, let me give you a controversial insight. People don't always want more. They want faster, easier, and done for you. Now, if your offer isn't converting, then try asking the AI. Reframe this as a shortcut, a template, or a time-saving system. So there's another prompt you can use. Now, that tiny shift can make a massive difference. Think about it. Would you rather buy a course on marketing or a plug-and-play funnel that's already 80% built for you? So this is exactly how Renee, one of my students, turned her low-ticket ebook into a premium toolkit bundle that now brings in consistent weekly sales. Now, you can use Typeform or Tally to create a free question quiz about your audience's biggest problems and their biggest struggles. Once you gather some answers, you can then just feed them into ChatGPT and then prompt it the following. Spot patterns and write an offer headline that speaks directly to these pain points. So there's the prompt you can use. Now, this takes the guesswork out of your offer creation, and it's how I help David, who runs a podcasting service, shift from generic editing packages 2 podcast ready in 7-day packages that people instantly understood and that they wanted. So the key is to niche down and get specific. Now, if you want your offer to really stand out, I suggest asking the AI to help you create a no-brainer offer stack. So you can prompt it with the following: based on this core service, what bonuses, templates, or fast action incentives could increase perceived value without adding more workload? So there's another prompt you can use. This is how one client added $247 worth of bonuses to a $97 product, and the conversions jumped by 41% with no changes to the core offer. Now remember this, you're not just selling a product, you're selling an outcome, a result, or even a transformation. A simple but powerful AI prompt that works wonders is the following: describe what life looks like before and after using this product. There's the prompt you can use. Now, I recommend weaving that directly into your sales page and your content. People don't buy features, they buy the version of themselves they want to actually become. Now, AI can help you describe that in a way that hits emotionally and not just logically. Let's now move on to tip number 6, which is to use AI to create magnetic content that builds trust and sells without feeling salesy. Now, the key thing holding most people back with content is that they're stuck in post and pray mode. You don't need to keep guessing what to actually say. You can use ChatGPT or Jasper to build a content strategy engine. So you can start by feeding it 10 FAQs that your audience keeps asking, and then just prompt it with the following: turn these into 30 days of educational content that builds authority and trust. Now, one of my students, Lena, used this method for her fitness coaching business and saw her engagement triple within just 2 weeks, because her content finally spoke to what her audience actually really cared about. Now, if you want to create scroll-stopping content, then stop focusing on formats and start focusing on emotional triggers. I recommend using a tool like Answer the Public to find real questions that people are actually Googling. Then just feed those into AI and just ask the following: write a short, emotional story post that shows someone struggling with this problem and finding relief. So there's the prompt you can use. Now, one of my clients, Marcus, used this strategy to sell his burnout recovery course, and his most relatable story post brought in 37 new email subscribers in just a couple of days with 0 paid ads. Now, one simple trick for you is to batch record video ideas before you even think about filming. So you can use Opus Clip or video.ai to take one long form video and instantly turn it into 10 or 15 short form clips. Now, if you don't have any time to film, I suggest using Pictory to create faceless short videos using your AI written scripts. Now, one of my students, Jade, who was terrified of being on the camera, used Pictory to grow her IG page from 230 to over 3,000 in just 5 weeks, all with voiceover reels built from her blog content. Now, let me give you a controversial truth. Posting daily won't necessarily help your business unless your content leads somewhere. I recommend mapping out every post back to your offer using a Google Sheet or Notion. Then just ask the AI, write this post to naturally guide the reader towards this freebie or service without sounding pitchy. So there's another prompt you can use. Now, you can see better results when your content becomes part of a sales journey and not just scattered ideas floating in the feed. Now, if your struggle is with the consistency, I recommend building a 5-pillar content matrix in Trello or ClickUp. You can use AI to generate, say, 10 post ideas for each one of your main content pillars. So this could be authority, personal story, client results, educational value, and soft sell promotion. So that gives you 50 solid content ideas in just one sitting. Now, one of my students, Tristan, used this to plan 3 months of Instagram posts in just 2 hours, and finally stopped waking up stressed about what to actually post. Now, make sure you don't forget to repurpose. A blog post doesn't just have to be a blog. You can use AI tools like Content Fries or repurpose.io to slice up long content into Instagram captions, emails, carousels, and even podcast scripts. You can feed your blog post into ChatGPT and then just ask the following: give me a carousel outline, a short tweet, thread, and an email from this post. So there's a prompt you can use. That one move saved my student Rachel at least 6 hours a week, and her content reach actually grew because it was more focused and much more consistent. Now, to make your content feel much more humanized and less robotic, I suggest this powerful combination. You can use AI to draft it, but then just inject your own voice and your own insights and your own lived experience. A good prompt for this is the following: write a personal story post based on this core idea, and then leave space for me to insert a real life lesson. So there's the prompt you can use. So you're not just building a brand, you're building a relationship, and that audiences buy from people that they connect with. And that connection starts with showing them who you are, not just what you actually sell. Let me now give you tip number 7, which is to use AI to organize your workflow and eliminate overwhelm in your business. Now, the thing that drains most solo business owners isn't just the work, it's the decision fatigue. What should I focus on? What's actually worth my time? Now, to help you with this, I suggest using Notion AI or ClickUp AI to create a simple AI-powered weekly CEO dashboard. So you can just ask ChatGPT to help you set this up. So you can use the following prompt: build me a weekly review template that tracks progress on content, revenue goals, and time spent on high value tasks. So there's your prompt. Now, Drew, one of my students, used this method and went from reactive chaos to hitting 90% of his weekly goals just by finally having clear visibility on where his time was actually going. Now, if your to-do list is 97 tasks long and nothing is actually getting done, it's time to work smarter using AI as your personal planner. So you can use Motion to auto-schedule your tasks based on deadlines and your actual calendar. I recommend pairing it with ChatGPT to break down big goals into bite-sized daily actions. So you can just use the following prompt: turn this 3-week campaign launch plan into daily tasks that fit into 2 hours a day max. So there is your prompt. Now, Maya, one of my students, used this setup to launch her coaching program while working a full-time job, and she stopped skipping tasks, and for the first time her launch actually shipped on time. Now, don't forget that your brain is not a storage device, it's for solving problems and not holding 1,000 ideas. Now, one of the best things you can do is build an AI-powered digital brain for your business. I recommend using reflect.app or mem.ai to instantly capture, organize and retrieve ideas, resources and even conversations. So you want to just drop your voice notes or random thoughts in, and then just ask AI to tag and organize everything into themes like content, clients, and even strategy. Now, Priya, one of my students, was constantly losing ideas that she had on the go. And once she built her business brain in Reflect, she started reusing and refining ideas instead of reinventing the wheel every week. And that one shift saved her at least 5 hours a week. Wow, that's it for this one. 7 practical tips that you can start using right away. Now, if you're serious about building your online business and creating a sustainable online income, take the next step now. Click the link below in the description or in the comments and go through to my website, where you can find some free training resources to help you get started right away. These free step-by-step resources are designed to guide you through launching a successful online business and generating online income streams. So don't wait, take action today. Click the link below and start your journey right now. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really does energize and motivate me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. And if you want to connect on social, you can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and have a wonderful day.